Welcome to the NACL Grand Prix. Race to playoffs is about to begin. Teams, on your mark, get set, go!
It's the race to the playoffs this time of the year, and our champion is gonna take us to a new gear. Gotta rev up your engine, take your foot off the brake. You got any talent coming, this should be a piece of cake.
You better watch out, something wicked this way comes. Show just caught you, fiddling with your thumbs. When the weepers walk the road, you better stay clear. The streets belong to Cincinnati, I fear.
Robbie Bob is here to take you back to school. While music C-Mice will make you look like a fool. You'll tremble in your feathers before the attack, cause the last thing that you want to hear before the grace crack.
They're new to the league, but they got a lot to boast. 3 returning champions to make this guy toast. Meech and Young not looking so reckless, all part of a full and balanced breakfast.
Down the tracks they go. It's anyone's race at this point. That's right, but oh no. AoE's got a Tristana Ziggs combo. Take cover!
Late game run, it's time to get wrecked. Feeling all this damage is area of effect. Will on the hunt like he holds a grudge. Knock you out of the park like he's Aaron Judge.
The Titans of Collegiate got school in the name. Oh, don't worry, try to beeline right to the top lane. If you're down, but got fright on the mind, it's a race to playoffs, head to the finish line.
The race is on and the clock is ticking. EG in the lab to get things clicking. Found the roll, Jet Shading here to carry. Smoothie and King stacking bodies to bury.
Everyone rides to the pledge of own nation. Top just got a solo kill donation. You think that it's easy? I don't really doubt it. Oh, another upset? You want to talk about it?
Here comes the white flag. Just one more lap for our teams around the track. And my goodness, pulling away from the pack, your top 3 teams!
In the sky high, they fly high right before your eye, and before you die, you'll be asking why can't a rookie be on Wi-Fi? Oh yeah, it's Masu. Say bye-bye.
We got Kills and Mudo, those guys from 100 Thieves. If you face them in draft, there's tricks up the sleeves. When the chips are down, it's time to show the ace. Got the pedal on the clutch, drifting into second place.
It's liquid, they told them not to keep on the fire, but the way that they're playing, you can't get any higher. From 2 Chainz, Bradley, MVP Amir, they're leading the pack, and the end ain't here.
And off they are going to the finish line. Better step on the gas, cause we're running out of time. If winning's the goal and you really want to brag, then you gotta be first to pass the checkered flag.
Hello, and welcome back. You want to talk about that last series right there, because Taco getting game 1, our longest game that we have of the split, after they had already set the record last time they played against Disguise. Absolutely crazy to see, but this time, the difference being they won the game, and we have our Turo key drive moment from the game that I want to go into, and for both of you, before we get into it, you want to take a guess? Oh, well, we're going to it. Never mind. You're going to see it. You're going to see it right now. It's the Baron play.
All right. I can appreciate the setup, especially the way that NXI was able to get this kind of flash engaged in the back and the separation of the team fight. I think that's something that Taco played really well around throughout the rest of this game as well.
Yeah, and the reason why I chose this play is, one, I think it was a defining moment of the game with how close it was. It almost set up an EGC comeback, but Spawn, looking at his Kai'Sa and how he was positioned in this entire fight, like right there, he's fully removed, but notices he can go back in. There's not really much that Ryoma can do because most of his cooldowns are blown, and I like that too. Cubby, you kind of mentioned it. I was able to utilize the vision to get out of the way of the shifting sand so that he could dodge away from just that little tick of damage that could have also taken him down.
Yeah, also Ryoma decided to hit blue buff while the fight was still going on, so I think that helped Team
Don't worry about that, all right? Don't worry about that.
I will say I missed that in the initial replay, and I'm kind of bummed I see this replay again to catch that, because he played the start of this fight really well. This flash is fantastic. I thought his ult was really good. DPS has been really sound here on the side of EG, but Team Taco able to find the turn in the back half as Ryoma gets stuck hitting blue. Rosethorn finds a nice little pocket to Cheese King, takes him down immediately, and makes this game rather interesting.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that just go right for Taco right there. The fact that King falls, King survives against Rosethorn, then Spawn can't go back in, right? He sees his window. He's like, all right, there's no one I have to worry about. And there, the shield barely keeps Smoothie alive. That's why I had to choose that as the Turo key drive moment.
Boy.
But
I just love that in the end of that, I know we're focusing back on Ryoma there. He finishes the blue ball, right? If anybody was wondering, he gets that last auto attack before he goes down. It works, all right? It works.
Yeah, but it was a buff transfer in the end.
Don't worry about it. He got the kill. He got the goal. That's what really mattered, right? But it was a 45, almost 46-minute game. This was a tough one, a stressful one for both sides. But the thing is, we were building towards this from the very beginning. And it's funny to see how it ended up working out. Obviously, had a lot of execution moments that were available for both sides. But a Team Fish Taco that's resurging like this in moments that matter is a scary beast, Magical.
I mean, especially when you look at NXI, right? I think NXI had so many highlights in that game. How many times he engaged for the team that they could follow up. Starting off with that first kill on Shaden, the Shattering Strike that he got, he flashed for that to get the stun as opposed to trying to go for the crash down you normally would on Rel, which kind of caught Shaden off guard because he was prepared for the crash down. He put the steadfast presence like, yeah, I'm going to stop this. Oh, wait, he flashed. I can't stop that. So all well done from Taco across the board. But now that we've kind of gone through all of this, we do have to get into our Rally Cry halftime show. Are you both ready? It is a very unique concept that I like to call the quiz show with Magical. Obviously, nobody's ever done this kind of trivia thing before.
Whoa,
very
crazy.
unique, very awesome, crazy. Are you both ready? Cubby, you look stoked. Now look at him. Look at that face. That is the face of someone who is ready to lose. All right. So let's get into question number 1, shall we?
My mind just got blown like 8 times. I just wanted you to know that.
Yeah. I see. You're ready. You are ready to win.
No,
That's
I'm
how I
not.
know. That's how I know
No, I'm
you're
not.
ready to win. All right. But we're gonna get into question 1. This is just gonna be fun. Gotta help everyone out there learn a little bit more about the players that we have in the series. So the first one, and a lot of these questions are gonna be about before the series, so you don't have to worry about taking this one into account. Okay. So which player has the most unique champs played before today? You can just say it, Cubby. You don't have to raise your hand.
Wait, I want to do it.
I'll let Michelle guess.
All right.
Shaden.
Okay.
That's correct.
Do you know how many?
I am the champion.
Wait, do you know how many?
12.
Is it
13.
12?
12.
I think it might be
12
12.
to
actually.
13. I don't know.
It is 12. So
Let's go!
It is 12. So points
I
to
did my
both of
prep.
you.
Let's go.
Yeah, points to both of you. You both get a point. Congratulations. 1 point apiece. The answer is Shaden with 12 unique. Today didn't actually change anything because Poppy had already played as well.
Here I am being kind, and Michelle just yoinks it from me. No more kindness.
You both get a point. Don't worry. You both get a point.
Oh my
that's
God.
some
You
nice
give it to-
kindness,
Yeah.
actually.
So don't worry. The questions are going to get harder. You're going to hate me later. So
man.
let's get into question number 2, shall we? Which player has the least unique champions before today? Surdy doesn't count.
Wait, why not? Come on, that's the easy answer.
Exactly.
Why not? Come
That's why.
on.
You got 10 seconds, Cubby. 9, 8, 7,
It's tied
6, 5,
between
4,
Wyoming and King.
3, 2,
Ooh.
1. That's all you got an answer?
Lunasia?
Ding, ding, ding! Hazel gets it. It is only 6 unique
Oh, it
played
is.
by Lunasia.
go!
Lunasia,
It
in
is.
fact, even with the Ornn played today, still remains at only 6 unique champions played. So that is
Dude,
2
see
points
this
now
in
for
here?
Lennon.
That's big.
Lennon, I told you,
big.
you were ready to win today. I had confidence in you. Your brain
No.
was
See,
expanding.
the thing is, though, I carry this so that Cubby can carry the analysis in the game.
Just
so,
get in
you
his
know.
head. I'm going to take a sip of coffee from the mug that Michelle actually gifted me for my birthday.
What does it say? What does it say? I can't even read it.
It says, I love you, California, as he
Yeah.
was trying to brainwash
on the
me.
other side, it's a bear holding California. It's actually adorable.
California is amazing. You guys were talking about states. I was trying to whisper in your ear how great California is. So
Look at this caster synergy. I drank my coffee out of a mug from my co-caster.
nice.
I'm not gonna lie, I almost bought you another one the other day because it was a golf green with it came with a putter and
Can't
a
be
little
down
ball.
2 mugs to you, man. I'm going to have to pay for your range
All right.
balls at least when we
All
go. But
All right.
keep on going.
All right, we gotta
I'm
get
gonna
back to
drink
my
his
winning
kitty.
quiz show
Yeah,
here.
we gotta
all
get we gotta get through the quiz show. We don't have very much time, so we're not gonna get through all of them. So let's
Don't
go to
worry,
question
I'm
number
already
3.
winning.
All right. Which player has the highest average KDA? You have 5 seconds to guess. 5,
King.
4.
I'm guessing King.
I would say it's
3,
King as well.
2,
He's been insane.
1. Both of you are wrong. Oh, yeah, you're wrong. It's Spawn.
Spawn. Okay.
Yeah, Spawn actually has the highest average KDA of all the players in our series right now.
So,
Oh yeah, because he's at like 4 point something.
It was
like
4.4.
4.4.
Oh, it's
4.4.
4-4. King's at a 4-1.
Yep,
yeah,
it's very
yeah.
close.
Okay,
It is
okay.
very
It's
close.
close. So
That's why I chose this question. All right, let's get into question number
Hold on.
4. Because we, like I said, we don't have very much time.
still winning.
So, which 2 players have not been first blooded yet?
Oh God.
not been first. Okay, does
not
30
been
count?
first-blooded.
30 does count.
I think he got. Oh, he didn't get first blood.
Definitely
He
got
got
first blood.
solo killed.
Got 4, 3,
King.
Oh God.
2, King, and who else?
Onat. I don't know. I'm wrong.
So, Mazzal, you're only saying Onat, or you have another player?
I'd say no. I'll just say. Okay.
Yeah, well,
wow,
you're
it's
both
both
wrong.
of them.
It's both of them.
King and Smoothie have
Okay,
not
okay.
been first blooded yet. They're the only two in the
Interesting.
series that have not been first blooded yet. Yeah, Surdy has been first blooded.
So we'll
once.
just let it be a tie.
All right, this is gonna be the last question. I had more, but we're gonna go into question number 5, and then we're gonna go into the game. So, which player has the highest kill participation percent in the series?
Oh God. I know this because it's literally. I'm not looking at my prep document.
It's okay.
I don't want to.
Because what I'm gonna do is
What
I'm
was
gonna
the question? I need the lower third.
Those
I'm more of
KP.
a auditory reader.
highest KP percent.
Oh,
Because I'm gonna.
NXI.
You are right, Cubby.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just going to give you the point. You're both tied, and now get us into the draft for our next game because we are ready for EGC and Taco. 1 game to Team Fish Taco so far. Let's see if they can make it 2-0 and tie with EGC.
We're getting a game now. I was going to try to keep that up, but I don't think I can keep a straight face there. We have our second game. Yeah,
Like, we need like any more like 90s dance
like
moves.
the mowing the lawn, right? You got to pull the
Dude, for whatever reason, I already get called esports dad, and I feel like doing these moves would really not help me. Try and
Did you ever
break
watch
out of that
movie
shell.
Hitch, I think it was with Will Smith or something. I don't know.
Oh,
where
yeah.
They do all the dad dancers like the ear. What is it?
I'm just thinking of Wedding Crashers, honestly.
Throw it away. Okay, yeah, true.
Yeah,
That
that's
does
all I'm
work.
thinking of.
But speaking of dances, we're gonna get to the dance of this second game. Evil Geniuses on the blue side this time. They will ban away the Nico and the Jax. You have Team Fish Taco on the red, banning away that Tristana and the Kindred.
Shaxban tells me that EGC is going to be trying to set up a Sejuani pick for the side of Jaden. And finally, thank you so much. Someone pays respect to Rel and what Team Fish Taco does with Rel. NXI has been so good in this champion. And also, Rosethorn showed that he could play it as well yesterday. So I think that's a very worthy takeaway as NXI. That Rel's been fantastic for him and the side of Team Fish Taco.
It really has. I think it just provides a lot of that setup for the team that they absolutely need to have. But that is a question. Now that it's gone, where do you go for? And obviously, we've seen a lot of the hovers over the Nautilus, the Rakan for him as well. See if he still goes with some of that centered engage style. But first and foremost, for Evil Geniuses, they want to secure stability in bottom lane and some safety for King.
King Xayah is 4-0 the split, which if you look at EGC's record, that's a pretty good score line, given everything that we have seen this split from the side of each of our teams here. But I think that's a rather safe pickup as Team Fish Taco now,
the Jace.
they can't run full dive into Xayah. I do really like Malachi Jace as a response. I will say, yeah, Onat's not your Jace player. Coming in, so
really rough.
Yeah, this would be the first Jace game for the side of Onat, so definitely
Let's
a different
go.
flavor. Good to see. Now EGC, they have the option to now pick up Rakan here and go for something like a Wukong if they want to take that duo. You could also have a mid lane response if you so choose, or if you want to get really interesting, you go for something like Sejuani Renekton and actually drop that Rakan. Which, given the Jax ban, I really felt like EGC were setting up for something like that.
I would be very, very curious if they do as well. Also, I just wanted to make sure before I made the claim, if I'm looking through his track record, at least on Lolpedia, this is the first competitive Jace for Onat as well. I really appreciate that adaptation, especially in a moment where it's a put up or shut up for Team Fish Taco, right? They were in the bottom of the standings. They need every win possible. So trying to bring out something that works, something that's so strong in the meta. On the other side, though, you had Smoothie grab up that Rakan, so you got the Lovers duo, but also Shaden with so much pressure available from this Sejuani.
So melee pairing is likely to be denied here from the side of Team Fish Taco as they have the option to pick a counter into the Xayah, and it will be a Ziggs. So we expect that Ziggs to be bot lane for Spawn and NXI. There are a lot of pairings that you have with Ziggs, as you could go Leona, Nautilus, and if things get really dire, you can't even go for something like Rakan, or I guess Rakan was denied. Blitz, as they will be looking for likely Engage to play with that Ziggs.
I do like
it, Ziggs be really powerful. Yeah,
and it was banned out in game number 1, but also it's something that we haven't necessarily seen from this bot lane so far, right? It is not something that Spawn's been willing to bring out in Summer Split, at least, and it just provides so much strength from the bottom lane when you already have increased objective control and spacing around it with the Maokai Jace combo. Now we got to whittle that down a little bit in the second phase.
I like that you bring that up because also, I like Ziggs originally because I felt like Ziggs played really well into Sejuani comps. You're going to go melees and try and close the gap. So tough to do that in the Ziggs between the bouncing bombs, the minefields, the Leandries, the build. The amount of damage that Ziggs can do if he gets ahead is extraordinary. So while that's going on, bot, we do have counters being taken away to that Jace mid to try and protect Onat a little bit. And I like how you bring up it's the first Jace in his career. Because Onat, for me, has been really just a mage player from what I've seen from Onat. Is Ahri's good, but outside of that, it's just mages for him. We have seen 2 Triss games, but I don't think those have been Onat's strongest performances, given how strong that champion is. So to be able to see him have a good game here on the Jace would be a nice sign of growth for the mid laner of Team Fish Taco as well. As Mazel, I did tease out the 2 pairings for the Ziggs. Each of those taken away with some protection of the Zyra Khan. Honestly, curious to see where NXI goes from here. As
Braum, maybe? Like,
no, Braum's a tough pairing.
It would be so bad.
Yeah, I said boys, we get desperate, man.
Yeah, I mean, okay. All right, I like it. So you get a little pressure and presence from NXI here. It is a bold move because we've seen Blitzcranks can't hit those hooks. It does look a little bit rough. So we'll see if NXI can have those mechanics.
Oh, they gave Renekton over to the side of EG if they so choose. Now, Ziggs does play well into that later into the game. The control you get from Maokai, Ziggs, Jace, it's really tough to deal with if you are frontlining. So it might be a little bit different compared to the Renekton.
Okay, we get the Silas anyways. I like it for Ryova.
Got some good ult options between the Maokai ult and the Blitzcrank ult already. A little bit of a tougher lane into the Jace, but it is playable. Also, if you want to get really creative here on the side of Team Fish Taco, you could put Ziggs mid in the Silas, as APA swears that it's a counter if Onat knows his Ziggs. And of course, that Jace could still go top. Not what we're expecting, but could be an option if you have something tough for Jace picked on the top side, as I mean, Jace could play into Fiora.
Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my god, we got Surdy with the Fiora here. And he's dropping the gauntlet. That's a blind pick at the top side. So the Surdy is going to have to leap off that execution from the Cassante and bring it to this matchup, as counter pick will go over to Taco.
It's tough because, like, you can't Kennen. I think that's a matchup that a lot of our top laners are willing to play into Fiora. But, Rumble would be interesting instead. It's going to be Lunasia's Renekton, as Lunasia still looking for his first win on Renekton this split. He is 0-12 on the champion.
God, don't tell me that, man.
Opportunity. No, hey, it's an opportunity to bust out something new, as he hasn't found that this year on the Renekton.
And again, that matchup is a little personal, right? Like, these guys are pretty good friends, right? Surdy has helped Lunasia grow in these little short whiles, and even through the relegation, right? It is something where they do have a relationship, and maybe see how the fisticuffs lie here.
A little bit of a skill matchup here, as we'll see if really he's able to get some sort of lead into this Fiora, because that Fiora tells me late game opportunities for EG are gonna be in the side lane for the side of Surdy. So you're gonna be looking to split push, and Team Fish Taco, how quickly they can siege down objectives with Jace Ziggs, that's gonna be rather dire for EG to deal with. But I think it's important that EG get an early lead, utilize the Zyra Khan that has been so good for King and EGC this split, to get some prio and make some things happen.
Safety on the bottom side, and all eyes on this top trio. We're headed into game number 2 in a game that matters so much for both sides. Wins across the table in these last series of the split are important across that 8th line in our top 10 to make it into playoffs. It is all eyes on Shaden early on, and for Taco, it's all about trying to make this composition to work. They will succeed and excel around objectives. They have to make sure they're set up ahead of time or have EG already in place. See Lunasia get pressed out early on, but that is the big focus for both sides, Cubby.
I think early, a lot of my focus will go over to EG, because I feel like EG have to make some moves early here, Mazel. The scaling of a Jace plus Ziggs is rather dire for the side of EG. So I want to make sure they can make plays early, and then if that is able to happen, Surdy can open things up in the side lane. Because we do have a late invade coming in. Potentially, as Team Fish Taco were posturing, but Ryoma spotting Onat might be enough to just deny that invade in full, as it will be first strike v first strike matchup in the mid lane. And curious where Shaden makes his first move or visit here, Mazel, as working bot to top for Shaden around those double melee solo laners with Sejuani. Not much of a surprise, but again, I think EG really has to cash in early.
Going back to kind of something we've been looking at all series long, but especially coming into the weekend a lot of times when we've had a big focus on NXI so far. This Blitzcrank has a big opportunity to upend this game, but I think Smoothie on this other side showed a lot of stability in game 1, and I'm really curious how this different look in game 2 is going to work out for these two very crucial pieces to either team.
It's funny because if anyone's going to know how to play into this Blitzcrank, you got to imagine it's Smoothie, as this Blitzcrank's actually been... It drew a couple bans to split Mazel. So he's 3-1 on the champ himself, so we'll see if he can utilize Rakan. Make sure that this Blitz is being pushed back. As early lane phase, it's going to be very much in favor of the Xayah. As the tech right now with Ziggs, you see the mana crystal start for the side of Spawn. Actually, didn't go for Futures Market as Biscuits are showing. But if you go for Futures Market, you can base on Wave 4 and TP back for the Lost Chapter. I think he might have to wait for Wave 5 now, unless the CS is very strong early on. But pressure will be in favor of EG early. As you can see, King is going to get a 3-wave crash with -1 CS.
See the little help?
Oh, there's a better image. If you actually go to that tweet.
The actual image.
There's an image that's rather fire.
Gotta give a shout out though. Make sure you use the hashtag NACL to get into the conversation, as well as subbing to the channel. Make sure 50% of the proceeds go to players and teams here. You also get those really cool emotes that you can spam. You do have that trio now coming online in mid lane for Evil Geniuses, trying to punish Onat on the Jace.
Just creep, they go. Yeah, Onat's gonna sack it. Onat a little bit wiser to it. You know, Smoothie's missing. Smoothie dropped a word to make sure that they spotted the Maokai, but now Smoothie, he's gonna be spotted out by the side of NXI. Has to see that as NXI is up a level. Smoothie will take one creep there. It's not bad. Yeah, give some help, you know?
2v2. 2v2.
We're out of queue.
2v2. Oh, the Epscon Abduct actually connects, and now Shaden is here. Rosethorn comes in. He's got all the alpacas in the bottom bush, but he can't do it. Rocket grab goes wide, and we get some early skirmishing between these trios.
No flash burn either to counter the rocket grab, as would have been a little bit scary there if that connected from the side of NXI, but I still like that initial game plan for EG. Utilize that bot lane priority to try and get something mid. Only get the flash out of NXI, so not exactly what EG was looking for. Ideally, you want to find flash out of Onat, so you can make rinse and repeat plays mid. As
looks like Ryoma just wants to get him some damage back. Again, heavy trades on both sides, but it is a constant roam now from NXI. We will see.
Why are we showing alpacas going down?
I don't know, but it is some cute alpaca gameplay going on. But Rosethorn looking for a gank. They are forcing around this mid lane, Covey. I don't think I've seen this much focus in a long time. There must be chum in the water here, as everyone is feasting on this mid lane, or attempting to.
I think Team Fish Taco is kind of being dragged to match what EGC wants to do. I am very much favor the EGC 3v3.
Dude, NXI just doesn't want to leave.
he really can't. Like, Onat's in a tough go of it if he does get pressured. But so far, they got Ryoma's flash from that trade from Rosethorn. Rosethorn has Hex Flash himself, so not all bad for the side of Team Fish Tacos. I think so far they've been able to match the game plan at EG rather decently. And Spawn's chilling in the bot lane, man. He's got Lost Chapters, so things are fine and dandy here for the Team Fish Taco bot lane. Spawn really be left to his lonesome to figure these waves out by himself.
We're taking a look now at this kind of state of the early game. There hasn't been any big rocket grabs for Taco from NXI, but I still love the early movement from both sides. Now, the next big question is, do Evil Geniuses use a little bit of this strength that they have and this reset coming back out to try to get even lasting advantages, right? We do see Shaden actually pathing back up towards top side, so maybe Dragon goes out the window in that fashion. But we do expect that to be a big case, because in game number 1, we had a lot of objective control coming out from both sides, actually.
It was EG that got the early objectives, as I think this draft... Curious. I think given that they haven't found a lead in either of their solo lanes, I think EG can play towards the Dragon, given the bot push, but Herald will be difficult, actually, for EG at this point, as curiously enough, Ryoma actually rushing a Seeker's mid, going up against the Jace. Put away his mythic quite a bit, but looking for
We
strength.
have friends of the forest here, all right? We're following Rosethorn around. Make sure the tree is eating good, all right? Make sure the alpacas are sitting pretty. NXI gets a big rocket grab. We needed one of those, and Ryoma gets baited at first blood to O Nation.
Good play coming out from NXI. Is now EG looking to answer elsewhere.
Gotta capitalize. Lunacia in a little bit of trouble. Doesn't really have a way out, but does have a big heal on the back end of this one. They don't want to go under tower because that's an angry Croc there with the Dominus pop. And EG's attempt in top goes wide.
Surdy missed one of the vitals off the stun. Was only able to get the back one, not able to get that one facing him. So that hook from NXI ends up being big. And now this, okay, that was that was a fish, you know.
You don't like going fishing? Oh, they're fishing the top lane, though. This is a Renekton, and that's a really good flash. Shaden has to get out of there. Surdy has to finish it off, and he has his flash of his own. Evil geniuses get on the table.
All right, really well done there from the 2v2 of EG. They get a plate as well. Surdy going to spam that base key as a lot of that wave goes to the wayside. That lead now will be in favor of Surdy top as Lunacia forced to TP to respond. Good for EG as that side lane win con later is set up. But some of the other win cons for EG, like having Prio bot to pressure that mid lane. NXI has been able to have a little bit more of an impact there compared to EG and Smoothie. As even NXI, I mean, his flash was the one that was burned first. The fact that he was able to find a play mid and set Ryoma behind is a rather big deal and has been enough where... Yeah, the kill goes over to the side of EG, but hey, this Herald still a Renekton you're dealing with in the top side. Enough strength, that off the reset, Team Fish Taco, they rush it down. Good call from them as they get that objective for free and can now focus on the Dragon.
And that's actually so huge, again, for this team composition, who is just so strong at controlling objectives. I always love the Maokai Jace combo, but then you throw the Ziggs into the mix, and it gets even scarier. The biggest focus for Evil Geniuses is making sure they are set up for side lane pressures later on, especially through Surdy, and we've seen constant focus from Shaden ping-ponging between this top and mid lane.
I wouldn't be surprised if Shading goes there after this grab on the top side too, as I think that is not going to change here for the side of EG.
Rosethorn wants it too, though.
Now, Rosethorn cannot fight Sejuani head-on. Not on this side of the map. So it will be a freebie going over to Shaden at EG. As Lunacia understands that he could be under a little bit of siege, and the top side does have access to that ultimate. But you can see already sitting under his turret.
Goodness.
EG do not have flashes. They want to go for this time, but they are bringing extra friends. You can see Smoothie and Ryoma both covering up here.
You don't have flashes, but you got two more bodies, or at least one more, as Smoothie's going to make his way over here. Lunacia trying to save his life under tower. Will have the rest of his team coming up here, and this has been an increased presence in Game 2. Both of these duos from support and jungle have consistently been on the move.
Honestly, a really good read from NXI, as him coming up here and abandoning the Ziggs. It is good growth from NXI. Like, it is, again, his first split playing support in this role swap. I think that was a little bit telegraphed from EG, but still correct for NXI to go up there and hover top. It helps dissuade the dive from EG as Shaden's going to continue to put the pressure on, but doesn't have access to smite as he smited that Krug away. Should go over to Rosethorn A-okay.
And it's also just showing a little bit of that mind that we love so much from NXI in the jungle role, right? This was a guy who could just upend an entire game from some big brain pathing early and some early aggression. And to see a little bit of that coming out in the support role in its own way is super big. Speaking of a little bit of something coming out, though, it's another Lunacia gank, and he will go down. Another kill to EG on the top side, and Surdy now 2 kills on the Fiora.
Remember last split with TL when Surdy was always cool with blinding Fiora? Just didn't matter.
And he would still find advantages.
Yeah, we have that again.
Speaking of advantages, though, Taco capitalize on mid lane, and Ryoma goes down.
Tried to silence the wave and kill it off so that more tower shots were taken by Team Fish Taco. Got a lot of damage down, but that's going to be first brick over to Ziggs. Yep, here we go. Hooray!
Yay, we did it!
Ziggs Gaming!
Woo! Ziggs Gaming indeed, as Surdy's trying to get his own Ziggs gameplay going on. Does get that plate back, but Onat will complete the Duskblade coming back onto the map. You also had that Leandris for spawn. Tacos getting a little bit of strength on the map, and I love that here, even though the bar of execution is definitely high for them here. Coming off that game 1, you love feeding into the momentum.
And a nice start, though, for Team Fish Taco. Like, their comp scales really nicely. And they already have some of those first items online. Demonic Embrace for the Maokai. We have Leandri is available for Spawn. And also that Duskblade for Onad, who is a little bit accelerated in this matchup. Really good start for the side of Team Fish Taco, as, I mean, for me, all eyes really go down to Surdy. And this is a tall order for Surdy this game. Yes, he will win each side lane. He is going to be able to run down that Jace ideally, and we already see him get ahead of this Renekton, has that Divine Sunder, but how
That's
much
the
can he open
duality.
up the map, you know? It's really tough, and when he's splitting, EG are still going to be under siege from all these empowered Shock Blast and Bouncing Bombs, and Saplings come out of Team Fish Taco, so I think it's going to be pretty easy for them to control the map. We'll see if Surdy can create enough space for EG to actually find angles to break the siege, as that is really what the game plan is going to be as this game goes on for the side of EG.
I think that's what's so curious is kind of that duality of how these teams are approaching this game too, right? They have very differing win conditions, and it's bars of execution on both sides. It's trying to set that tempo here. Shaden will just consistently hover over Lunacia.
Lunacia might be like, hey, there's a permafrost stack on me.
I wonder how that got there. Curious.
Yeah, I think I might be on weak side again.
You know, you didn't learn the first 2 times. You definitely learned the 3rd time. As we do see Taco actually trying to find their own response on bottom side. Rosethorn and NACL have been a constant duo here. No Onad able to put some pressure. They're just trying to get some more plates here before they do fall. Although we got the dive top. There's the Mega Inferno Bomb as well. And it's another pickoff. Sturdy on a killing spree. Can Taco get something back bot lane? It doesn't look like it's going to be so, but Onad, he wants it. Accelerated Shock Blast flashed out of, rather. And it will be an escape by Evil Geniuses, so they continue to strike where it hurts Taco most.
Honestly, well played by the side of EG. That's a blower.
I've never seen that happen. I thought he was going to go back to base with him.
Yeah, I mean, well, Ryama's back here already, so he was able to TP back as he lived. And now Rosethorn, we have...
he's got alpacas. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, he does, but we do have Sejuani rotating over for the side of EG. King was able to clean up that mid wave. So the attempted play from Team Fish Taco doesn't connect. Gives EG some space as their play top did connect. And that turret is answered by Surdy. So EG pick up their first brick, and now Surdy should be rotating towards this bot side, I gotta say, to make sure that this one falls in favor of EG too, because wherever Surdy's at, those turrets will be under threat.
And Evil Geniuses can use that pressure to go set up around the second Rift Herald. And that's exactly what we're going to see here. The redeploys coming out completely from Evil Geniuses. And while I will say they will be there first, this is also a position that gives Taco a lot of strength. I love a composition like this that can go into an already started objective.
See how much poke they can get down beforehand, because part of why you want them to start the objective is to try and make sure you connect that poke. As EG could use this. Bait Team Fish Taco a little bit too far forward. Like how Shaden's pulling this up, away from some of the brushes.
Smoothie's going on the long con.
Yeah.
He actually walked all the way around.
I don't know if he's not spotted. They're going to try and get King there. King has to answer this wave from spawn or drop it. That's kind of the decision that EG's making right now. Is Ryoma not spotted
Taco are a
either.
little indecisive
Ooh,
here. I don't think they see the TP there. They'll just go in for the Rift Herald as they are getting duped. They are getting completely surrounded like fish in a barrel right now, but everything missing from EG's backside of the fight. You do get that Rift Herald going over to Rosethorn, but he should go down quickly after. King gets the kill itself, and Lunacia with a nice little slice and dice plus flash gets him out. Oh, going a little bit ham with that rocket grab though, and Surdy goes down. Shut down straight into Onat's pockets.
I like the angle from EG. Ryoma face planted his E over the wall. And that really slowed down the follow-up because he wasn't able to get a hold of the Maokai ultimate and make sure this fight was clean for EG when they all pushed their buttons at the same time. So I think Taco, off of that, were able to actually regroup as 5. You can see how much work Ziggs does against this triple melee composition. Everyone has to go in. You have to jump on Ziggs. Spawn loves to be in that scenario right now as the Ziggs. And he got a lot of work done in that fight.
And again, this is such a cool iteration of Taco. This is not a composition that they piloted so much in Summer Split.
Well, watch Ryoma. He's about to faceplant this, unfortunately. Yep, that's the E. Yeah, that's not good. Because if he's able to do that...
And then the fact that the back end misses too.
Yeah, I mean, if he's
rough.
able to do that, though, then they get to take Maokai ultimate, and this becomes a lot sounder fight for EG instead. they lack that big engage tool themselves, and everyone's just forced to kind of run into the Ziggs as Surdy goes too far up. Great rocket grab from NXI. Make sure that they are able to answer one back. As the Herald, look, I think the eye stayed on the ground.
This. Watch this on King, though. Oh, we're not going to get it. So there was 2 bombs that went through. One did like 3/4 of his remaining health, and he just feather stormed out of the second one. But it is Taco, who, yes, it's a very tight lead, but it is something where they have a lot of strength going into these next moments, and especially with the Dragon coming up.
Well, Ziggs gonna be big in this fight, Zell. Look at that item scoreboard for him. It's quite a bit.
Quite a bit, and getting closer to a second.
NEG deal with it.
Yeah.
We shall see. Can they use this objective to maybe buy time for Fiora? We shall see. Tune in on the next Dragon fight.
Next time on NACL. But it is actually next objective on the table. We were saying earlier, Dragon, potentially number 2 for Taco. And this is not something EG are going to be looking to focus on moving forward. I think Baron will obviously be a big question mark for them. They are not a comp that necessarily wants to fight Team Fish Taco's comp in an objective fight. We saw some of the things that went wrong for EG last time around. And yes, some mechanical execution makes the difference, but it does not matter when this composition is just so stable going into these kinds of fights.
Like how Onat's not falling prey. What's going on the bot side? Is EG trying to break some of that stability elsewhere, Mazel? Not quite able to do so, though, as Onat doesn't take the bait. And Ryoma is left to clean up the scraps of the wave. Nice attempt. Don't mind that one on the side of EG. But EG still, I mean, we kind of teased earlier talking about these drafts, Mazel, how EG needed to get a little bit ahead, how good the scaling was for the side of Team Fish Taco. And Team Fish Taco doing great right now with where the game state's at. Surdy's only been able to break 1 turret on his own. A lot of the resources are in that Fiora. They've got 2 dragons to their name. Their poke comp is online. And EG don't have the gold they need to really run through the Ziggs Jace damage that they will be facing.
And that's what becomes so difficult when you're looking at those objectives specifically. But the side lane is where it's at, and Surdy is where it's at for Evil Geniuses. I think you have to look continuously for that influence from Shaden, but the rest of Taco, they want to try to take out Surdy here. I don't know if they can actually get the distance covered. Surdy is pretty quick in XI, though. He'll get the combo, and the Glacial Augment does help to lock him down. Spawn gets the kill in the end, too.
Good play from NXI. He flips the reaction speed against Surdy by using the flash, able to chain his spells really nicely together. Silence comes down, so no parry available for Surdy, and they take down the Fed member. As now, here comes the collapse. EG's in trouble.
Got the wild growth underneath. The dragons were coming for them, but they are able to get out of that. Rosethorn wants to keep going, though. If he can connect, he does get onto Shaden, as well as the flash coming out a little bit late. But here comes Ryoma. This could be a big difference maker, though, but it is a 5v4 in favor of Taco. They back away.
Okay. It actually ends up being pretty good for the side of EG, as they get a couple TPs for themselves. Ryoma.
Ryoma just got away with highway murder right there, by the way.
He had Everfrost. It's fine. Just trying to make some plays.
There's 4 members of Taco right there. Fine.
Still.
Fine. Do get some more item completions, though, coming off the board. We got second item there for Spawn. You see how much damage he's already doing with that Shadow Flame completed. King did have his second item completed as well with that Navori Quick Blade, but he just got back to lane. He's already half health.
This is where I say Ziggs gaming again?
Yes.
All right.
As many times as you want.
Xayah very vulnerable to the poke from the side of Team Fish Taco. I think that range is a good way to beat Xayah. We've seen a couple teams trying to play Ezreal and Ziggs into the Xayah as this pick. Definitely a very dominant one in the meta. The good news for Xayah is that once you get 3-4 items, your DPS is insane.
There's a lot of members up here, and you can't get caught in the side lane. He should go down over here, but Rosethorn, actually a clutch save with the wild growth. Ryoma's trying to use it right back, but Rosethorn will tank that one up, and again, Onat, he survives.
Able to slink on out of there. Ryoma a little bit slow to answer as he committed the flash a little bit later. Wasn't able to find the full chain of CC after a beautiful entrance from Shaden and Smoothie. But Onat able to get his way on out of there. Did tease that Onat first competitive game on the Jace, sitting at 2-0-1. I think so far for me, MVP of this game honestly has been NXI. I think that his map impact, just to hover mid, really important in making sure that Team Fish Taco are in the game state they're in right now, which I really have them favored. I like their comp as time goes on. One thing they're going to really have to worry about is that Fiora in the side lane, but the wave clear from Ziggs Jace is so much that things get too dire, you can always just have Ziggs answer and then TP to the fight.
Yeah, and then you just start forcing objectives. You get Barons, you get Infernal Dragons, you get stuff like that. It just becomes that much more difficult. And I think this is a really good resurgence in the time that's needed most, right? And I know we haven't talked about it much in the second game, but every single game matters here for Taco. And Odat with a second consecutive catch out, that just can't happen.
Well, EG get the revisit, as they have to reset quickly, though. They want to be able to contest this dragon. Onat will not have flash, but can TP to that objective. As I like the plays from EG, I feel like them playing like this in the side lane really is the only play they have at the moment, because they cannot contest mid, given how strong the Ziggs is. They do open up space for Surdy to make sure this inner turret does go in favor of EG, so more gold in their pockets. Curious if they can use any of that in this upcoming team fight. There's a setup from Taco. They are currently retaking their top side. I don't like that very much from Team Fish Taco. I feel like they should have sacked that play top and gotten full control over this dragon, taking control over the bot side. As Onat will TP into mid. And this is tough now for the side of EG to deal with. Onat's a little bit behind in levels, thanks to the focus they put onto the Jace, but still the Ziggs is accelerated. Level 14 at the moment. Yeah. Doing a lot of damage, so EG very much have to worry about that.
I actually really like this transition from Evil Geniuses to just try to get this objective. They will be pushed out of it very quickly. Surdy is on a flank. Evil Geniuses have a moment to capitalize here. Look at Smoothie. He has everything available to him. He gets spotted out, though. The Dragon getting oh so low, but here goes Smoothie. He gets stunned down immediately. He goes in for the triple grand entrance, and the CC is enough. They get the combo, and a triple kill for King. He's looking for a quadra. He's looking for a penta. Can they get Lunacia? One more, and a penta kill for the King of Evil Geniuses!
What an engage from Smoothie and a follow-up from King as EG turned this game on its head, and it's all off the back of the Lovers duo taken early in the draft and capitalized upon here, Mazel, as Lunacia finds the stun on the Smoothie, tries to dissuade the engage of Smoothie. He's got flash up in this combo. It's so good, man. Finds a 3-man. Everyone melts as King is shredding. And Taco, they didn't have the poke down early enough in this fight, Mazel. They didn't set up in the bot side. Try to poke EG out. They found a clean engage. King finds the ball, and EG are trying to even up this series.
Love the mammoth throw out there, but especially King stepping up now, especially with Evil Geniuses grabbing the Turo Baron buff. They are 6K in the lead, and they have stopped the advance of Taco. And again, King has been a man that we have been promised would make an entrance into the league. He's finally here, and this split has been an incredible come up for him and a final awakening, it feels like.
King's been really good this split. There's really no ifs, ands, or buts about it, as he is playing consistently. Did say his Xayah was 4-0 within a 10.8 KDA coming into this game, and I think it's showing why Team Fish Taco took that Xayah away from them in game one, Mazel. It's been pretty damn good here for the side of EG.
It has, and it was something they were willing to just go with right off the bat. Make sure that they can secure some stability for this King, as he's not dropping the crown just yet. Ryoma trying to back Taco away from Shaden. As the grab comes through, back from NXI, Shaden gets caught under turret. There's also a catch out on Ryoma here, and Taco are capitalizing off the back of that penta play. Ryoma gets stopped by the sapling, but he luckily has a blast cone there to get him to safety.
Props to Team Fish Taco as NXI sees that engage from Smoothie in the last fight and says, hey, I've got some fight in me left too on this Blitzcrank, as NXI's Blitzcrank has been pretty good this game, continues to be so. Surdy, he's got that hole breaker going on this Fiora. King does join him for this fight, but Surdy reactivating that hole breaker should be able to deal with that top lane inhibitor by his lonesome, as despite being down a jungler, EG is still keeping the pressure up.
See the side lane, just a full-on pressure fest for Surdy. Speaking of, though, the other side lane is looking worse for wear as a tier 2 goes down. You still have 47 seconds on this Turo Baron buff, and top lane is still being pressured down. You still have an open inhib in mid. they're going to try to get Surdy in a 1v3 that he can't.
Surdy's spamming, man. He's emote spamming.
He's
like,
feeling it, man.
Baron. I'm not stepping up. You guys can't touch me.
Do a little dance. Do a little dance. Do a little dance. Doesn't want to just keep the pressure up, though, because he got resets from the rest of his team. He also has TP, so after he takes his inhib, he could get a reset and try to join another part of the fight, but the side lane is where he thrives.
On has to use the satchel to get that turret away, or else this inhibitor falls on its own. Okay, he's got aggro on it. This is the minigame we're playing right now, Mizel. Can we keep the Hullbreaker Baron Up cannon minion from hitting our inhibitor?
Nope, you can't stop Surdy.
One stab.
All it took was one little move, and now we're looking at all 3 lanes pressured in. Surdy doesn't necessarily want to grab, but there you get a big pick out on Smoothie, and you separate a little bit of the team comp from Evil Geniuses.
NXI is having a good series, man. I think each support's had some really nice moments, but NXI, especially on this Blitzcrank, keep in mind, he ate those 2 bans that the Nautilus and the Iona, 2 champs that pair up really well with the Ziggs. He was relegated to the Blitzcrank, but he's still making it look really good this game.
Yeah.
As a lot of these hooks have delayed the inevitable from EG. As maybe a play on... Surdy's got a Hullbreaker.
Shaden's literally right there.
I really don't think he can touch Surdy.
All right, he's going to try to take the fight on the Rose Thorn. Actually, he's going to go back because he knows the Hullbreaker buff is just too good. He's going to just try to take the fight here. We'll see if he can get the outplay. We've seen him in situations like this before. He will be able to get out unless NXI can make the difference. He cannot. And Surdy, a slippery son of a gun, going to go ahead and stutter step on him, run into an alpaca. And you got to be careful of the Friends of the Forest as it's a big pick out on a Surdy. Did they actually find more? Here goes the double knockup. King has arrived, though. And when you aim for the King, you better not miss. As they come through clutch, this is pressure in mid lane. But more importantly, this final outer tower, at least for Taco, should go down to Evil Geniuses.
Spawn's going to do all he can to keep this one up, and he's running low on mana. Going to have to hit the base soon. Able to take out the wave.
Oh, King. Ooh, Smoothie. Man, Spawn is getting some damage in, and that's what the Ziggs provides, but is it enough for the 9,000 gold deficit? It's not looking likely as King and Ryoma step up. Just take this final inhib. That'll be double supers in all the waves.
This game's been a bit of a mess myself, but... You know, 12-9 on the scoreboard, I feel like it's been as close, but also not as close as that looks like at times.
Yeah,
it's
been a little bit swingy.
All right, so Surdy, besides the dance, eats an alpaca.
Gotta be careful with those alpacas, man.
Yeah, they're lethal. It might just take you from being, nearly relegated to a world championship if you're not careful.
Surdy said yesterday in his interview that he hates emus because he's Australian, but maybe he needs to hate alpacas too at this point.
Well, the setup was there for King as Smoothie finds the combo. Well done by the side of EG. As they're likely cleaning up that dragon while we are in the replay. It is so. They take the 4th one of the game, 2nd one for themselves. Surdy has been put to the bot lane as Baron's about to spawn. And Hullbreaker plus double super waves is going to be a lot to deal with.
It's going to be very difficult, I feel like, for even the objective-oriented team composition from Taco to find entrances now that we have such advantages for King. He's going to be untouchable. Even with a lot of the poke, you always have the Featherstorm, and Surdy has just been a nuisance to Lunacia so far. But the thing is King has been in positions like this before. The reason why he was brought to this roster was to be that definitive carry, right? And I think last split, we never got to see him. We never got to see that success, and we are finally getting that as the Turo Baron buff with an attempt to steal from Taco does go to Evil Geniuses, and now Spawn out of the fight just means that this game is done as NXI goes down again. It might have been a Blitzcrank pick. It might be some firsts for Taco, but it'll be a first win in this series if they can finish it off for Evil Geniuses.
I think they're just chasing the last kill at this point. They've got double super creeps and Baron 30.
More kills. They're just going to go for the Nexus now. They know where it's at, as every game mattered in this series. It'll be a 1-1 split as Evil Geniuses take game 2.
Big deal for the side of EG to make sure they even that one up. Still give themselves some space ahead of Team Fish Tacos, of course. Everyone trying to make that top 8 to make playoffs, as it is a rather close race, not only for first, but also that top 8 in NACL this split. And props to EG. I mean, I felt like Team Fish Taco were doing a really nice job of slowing things down, but I think the side lane attack onto the Jace was really what slowed Team Fish Taco down in the end, and then that engage from Smoothie that opened up the pentakill for King was massive.
Yeah, it truly was. We're going to step away for a little break. On the other side, we'll have our Verizon post-game interview with Magical. Don't miss it.
The LCS Challengers League is brought to you by Turo, the world's largest car-sharing marketplace. Find your drive.
Hello, hello, and welcome into the Verizon post-game interview. I am Magical, and I'm joined in by the ADC of EGC. It is King. Congratulations, even if game one was a bit of a disaster, unfortunately. The longest game we've had of the split, you guys lost. You bounced back in the second game. You got a pentakill in that game, so how does it feel?
It feels good, obviously. I think this is the second penta I've ever got in my career. I'm pretty sure, despite me playing for so long. But yeah, I mean, I think losing the first game definitely feels bad because I think right now every game matters for us. And yeah, it was a really sad game to lose because obviously it was so long. I even said in the middle game, like, guys, we're in the store for a bloody 40-minute banger, and then we lost in such a tragic way. But yeah, I mean, it feels good to win the second game.
Yeah, and so it is your second pentakill of your career. You know what champion you got your first pentakill with?
Yep, Zaya.
It was Zaya. Good. Yeah, that's exactly who it was.
Yeah.
You were 8-1-1. It was back when you were in the OPL as well on Direwolves.
Direwolves versus Avant.
Yeah, I just saw that. I'm like, you know, I want to bring that up because I thought that's funny. Because in this game, I think you only had one kill before that pentakill. So you were just kind of.
I did that game as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, you did it. You did in that game as well. I was just about to say, both games you were on cruise control for a bit, and then all of a sudden, just one fight, and you're like, all right, I'm fed. I can win this one. So kind of walk me through, like, what were the comps like going through with that pentakill?
I mean, you know, when like I don't even know what, like, I think you guys watched a lot of like the comm videos when someone gets like that big combo. It's like, it's not even intelligible. There's just like, oh no, and then when I killed the 3 people, I was like, oh my god. I started screaming penta before the 3rd person even died. So like, I sort of knew like it was a penta.
Nice. So you just got 3 kills. You're like, yeah, this is my penta. Give it to me now. Anyone takes this, I swear to God. But you know,
my last penta got stolen from me actually.
I do believe that actually did happen. You
Shaden took it in front of me. Yeah.
Yep. I remember that moment too. That was earlier this play. But yeah, at least you were able to get it this time around. You got a clean win here against Taco, which does still put you 2 games above them in the standings, but it still keeps you towards the bottom half of our standings. So I kind of want to ask you, how is everything going for Evil Geniuses? Do you feel like that first game was just kind of like one of those tragedies that happened and it was a fluke and you guys are bouncing back?
I think we sort of realized after the first game, it's like those tense like standoffs when we're like, you know, it's like the cowboy, like the old spaghetti western, right? Like whoever draws first wins. We're just the one getting shot first always.
Yeah.
And like I think we are playing really bad early and we're putting stuff into those positions. And I think, I mean, we showed it the last week, right? I think we had like similar positions where we're like the scaling comp. We have our 6 items and then we somehow just throw it all away within like 5 seconds. So yeah, that's definitely like our biggest weakness as a team right now.
I mean,
and it showed, yeah.
It's something that you can learn from as well, right? You can grow and get better. But I kind of want to talk to you as a player because everyone, including myself, we always like to hype up a lot of the marksmen we have here in Challengers League, especially like we look at Masu and we look at Lens. But you have been having quite the performance this summer split. And a lot of people have been putting you up in that conversation saying, who is really the best marksman in the league? So that's where I want to ask you, what are your thoughts on that?
I think I personally don't think I'm like playing like my best, but I definitely do. Like, I still think that I'm like definitely one of the better players. Like, you know, I still rate myself very highly. But I do agree that the other ADCs, especially the new ones, they're impressing me honestly. But I do think if I didn't miss the whole split, I'd be like, you know, like I'm playing catch up still, you know.
Yeah.
So I think give me a few more weeks, and I think I'll be a lot better.
Hey, and in a few more weeks will be playoffs, so it'll be right in time, right?
Yes, I mean, I'm ready for that level up.
All right, well, we're ready for that as well. And before I let you go celebrate that victory with the team that you guys just got in this 1-1 split, Any shout-outs you want to give to everyone?
I just want to shout out my best friend Tomo for coaching me in the bot lane. I feel like he's helped me a lot with improving, like Dig Tomo. And yeah, all the fans, shout out my girlfriend Vicky, and shout out OKC. Yep.
All right, well, thank you so much, King. I'm going to let you go with the team. As for everyone else, we're going to toss it to a break. When we come back, we'll be getting ready for our second series of the day. Team Liquid Honda Challengers facing off against the Skies. You won't want to miss it.
The LCS Challengers League is brought to you by Turo, the world's largest car-sharing marketplace. Find your drive.